Good morning. It's Eddie G's Music World, and today we're going to look at another bunch of 1950s one hit wonders. This is from a list compiled by Billboard magazine. So I thought we can keep going with this type of list and see if there's any interesting acts that got a bit of information to discuss. Okay, I'm just going to announce this on Twitter, Eddie G's Music World, and we'll just get into it and see how far we can go and what kind of information we find. Um, okay, we're just going to go back. This is from 1958. There was a band called Hollywood Flames, and they had a song called Buzz, Buzz, Buzz. They were around since the late 40s. I don't know much more about those guys, but the next one was a very big hit. I'm going to say number one. It's a classic. It's by the Silhouettes, and it's called Get a Job. Now, it's a doo-wop song, and wonder. Oh, that's Book of Love. Get a job. Da na na na. You already know this song. If you're bothering to listen to this show, and there aren't that many, I'm pretty sure you are from the age range that remembers that this song was a classic by the Silhouettes, and I believe it went to number one. And one of those acts that did not get well paid for their work, like a lot of these black singers from the late 50s. Going down the list and looking at what's coming up. Also, March 1958, the Crescendos, Oh Julie. Now, that's another one I'm going to have to look into and get more familiar with. But based on the name of the group, I can tell you they didn't get too far. Next, Eddie Platt. Now, the song is called Tequila. Okay, let's see if it's connected to the same song by the Champs. Hmm. Okay, I think it's the same one. It was their instrumental version of Tequila. Now, I'm not sure which one came out first, but you all know the song. It was used in the Pee Wee Herman movie when he was outside, and no, he was in a bar and he was jumping around in the bar, and his feet were twisted on the counter and jumping around. It's well known. John Zachary Lee, Dinner with Drac. Now, I've definitely heard this a while ago. Don't know a whole lot about this, Mr. Zachary. Um, I can only imagine that his career was not what you would call huge, but I don't think he made it too deep. Like he was on the radio, but overall, this isn't the guy that had a massive success. Dinner with Drac Part One. Maybe there was a Part Two. Laurie London. Now, you might remember this. She was a younger girl. He's got the whole world in his hands is a very famous song. It's kind of an upbeat. She's got like a nice youngish sounding voice, and it's a religious based song. I'm assuming. Um, Sadly, it doesn't seem like there was much more going forward with her. She was on Capitol Records, so there definitely was an opportunity to have a career since they were a big company, but it didn't last that long. Here's another song, April 1958, Ronald and Ruby Lollipop. Now, we all know the more famous one. Um, the Chordettes, but let me see if there's much to say about Ronald and Ruby. It was the same song, from what I can glean from information about the version by Ronald and Ruby. So I wish I knew if there was a lot of information about these two, but it didn't seem to be too much. They did write a song for Leslie Gore, Judy's Turn to Cry, the Earls Remember When, and Roy Orbison's Candyman. So these two, Beverly Ross and Julius Dixon, did have substantial success ongoing, at least into the later 50s. Huey Piano Smith and the Clowns, Don't You Just Know It? Johnny Vincent and Huey Piano Smith, a song I'm going to have to look into to familiarize. There was a whole lot of activity with these two, but it's a pretty obscure song, so I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time on it. Heading to April of 1958, the 21st, when I was doing the recap of the Silhouettes Get a Job, I was thinking of Book of Love by the Monotones, and here they are as another one hit wonder. Now, this was one of the biggest one hit wonders of all time. When it came out, it was just a massive song. I'm sure it went to the top five, if not number one. What happened with these guys? They're still run around doing oldie shows. I mean, who would go to see them for one known song? But look, some of them have passed, and they have this great classic to remember that they pulled off. Next, here's an act that actually connects with my family. The Art and Dottie Todd, their hit was Chanson d'amour, and my second cousin Herman Apple was a Vegas act that was a very low level music act, and he had told me that he had done shows with Art and Dottie Todd, and that they weren't nice to Uncle Herman or cousin Herman. But they're both gone. They didn't have a great career like most of these people. Here it says Lounge Act in Las Vegas. So, like my cousin, not a big stars. Vox Poppers, Wishing for Your Love. No, I don't know it, and I'm not going to learn about them right now. But go ahead and look them up. For those that are listening to this show, it's an opportunity to learn on Eddie G's Music World. I'm trying to bring to light these obscure acts that didn't last. I think they deserve a bit of mention. Renato Corazon, Torero. Sorry, I got nothing to say about that song. Valerie Carr, When the Boys Talk About the Girls. Sorry, it's another obscure song. But she had another song, didn't work out like most of these. Ed Townsend, For Your Love. Somehow that name sounds familiar to me, so I must have heard this song. Um, he he produced and wrote for the Main Ingredients, the Impressions, the Shirelles, Chuck Jackson, Maxine Brown. Wow. So this guy had a massive career, even though on his own, he only had the one hit, which I'm probably going to have to listen to at some point. Sheb Woolley, June of 58. We all know the one eyed, one horned purple people eater, humongous number one hit for multiple weeks, kind of a Halloween type of classic because it's a spooky monster mash type of style to it, gimmicky, novelty, but kind of cute for the time. Um, Says that he's still alive, but this information is not current. I'm sure he's not around, or if he is, he's close to 95 years old. Gino and Gina, it's been a long, long time, pretty baby. Wow. Really did not last. Jan and Arnie, I know about these two because they became Jan and Dean shortly after. For some reason, they wanted to be known as Jan and Arnie. And Jenny Lee is a very cute little studio technique song with a lot of background noises and reverb or whatever it was. Obviously, it should be mentioned because Jan and Dean went on to have a massive career, and they kind of were associated with the Beach Boys because they all kind of knew each other in the same type of area, and they had similar styles. So, look, go ahead, listen to that, and go and look up Jan and Dean after that, and you'll realize the reason why this is important to note. I'm going to go to the end of 1958, and then we'll just take a break after that. Jody Reynolds' "Endless Sleep." I remember hearing this because I have looked at different. I've listened to different radio stations that discussed old songs, and this was one of them. It's kind of a ballad, so I'll have to listen to that one again. I don't know. There wasn't a big career for the person. Dan Lear's "One Summer Night." I know this song, July of '58. Um, there, I know, because I know the song, I can remember hearing it at some point, but I can't remember how it went exactly. But I see that there were other attempts, and they were dropped by the record label. Not a big shock. Johnny Otis Show, "Willie and the Hand Jive." Okay, I like this song. Kind of the Bo Diddley style. Bo Diddley came out around this time. Don't quote me. I don't have an exact time frame of when these guys were all started, but this was the style of Bo Diddley. Now, who took the style from whom, I don't know, but you should definitely check this out. Johnny Otis Show, "Willie and the Hand Jive." Very much a great guitar sounding song. Domenico Medungo, "Volare," classic Italian song, sung in Italian. Um, Everybody who knows 1950s songs would know this. It's been covered by multiple acts, so this guy had a huge number one with it as for with this. So I'm assuming it can't be hard to remember this one. It's a classic. "Elegance." Now I know this song very well. Little Star. I'll throw you one line. "Where are you, little star?" And that's all I remember. But isn't that enough? It was, if I can remember it, and I was born after 1950. This thing must have been really big when it came out because I know it hit the charts in a big way. But like all these guys, they kind of burnt out. "Born Too Late," I know that one as well, by the Ponytail, September of '58, featuring three nice looking white girls. I'm looking at a picture. Um, they kind of didn't last too long. Let's see. They never wrote any more songs, but the people who wrote their hit, This guy Tobias wrote "Good Times" and "One of Us" and the music for "Bye Bye Birdie." Those were the days for the All in the Family show. So these guys went on to have a good careers. Quintones "Down the Aisle of Love." I'm sorry, but this means nothing to me. So rather than waste time discussing a song I don't know, I'll just move on. If you know these songs and you can discuss it, I'm more than excited to hear about it. The Shields, "You Cheated." Sorry, another blank for me. I don't know every song that was a hit. I wish I did, but since I know most songs that were big hits and I haven't done much with that brilliant wealth of information, these obscure songs, not knowing them is not a big deal. Coming down to a massive song, Bobby Day, "Rockin' Robin." Of course, you know it's an upbeat whistling song about birds and rocking in the treetops. And of course, this was covered by most famously Michael Jackson, or was it the Jackson Five? And let's face it, the Jackson Five and Michael Jackson were kind of interchangeable since Michael took most of the lead vocals, Jermaine a few of them, and maybe other brothers, one or two here and there. But Bobby Darin is really a not Bobby Darin, Bobby Day, "Rockin' Robin." Go check it out. It's really a song you'll enjoy listening to. Check out Michael's version too. Earl Grant, "The End." I've heard of Earl Grant. Now he had other. I thought he had other songs, but they say Nat King Cole style. I will try to listen to that to become more familiar. We're coming close to the end of the 1958. You're on the edge of your seat. I know. Royal Tones. No, Robin Luke, Susie Darlin. Uh, he was like one of these kind of like Gene Vincent types. The song, what look this is. Oh, oh, Susie, darling, I'm in love with you. I guess when someone will try to commit me in the next or put me in an old age home, they'll use these videos as proof that maybe I'm kind of losing it. But it looks like this guy, he became a teacher, so one hit. Dot Records probably just like threw him a few bucks, and he was on the heap of has-beens pretty fast. Okay, Royal Tones, "Poor Boy." Don't know. I can't say much about this, but I will try to hear it. Closing off December of 1958 of Billboard's One Hit Wonders is a band with a member that was so important to music despite his killing some a nice girl in his house, Laura Clarkson, and going to prison and dying in prison. Yes, we're discussing Teddy Bears. To know him is to love him. Phil Spector wrote it. He sang it. He was on Dick Clark's show singing it. It was a full group. Like the other people, I don't remember. Well, they're not that important because there weren't Phil Spector. I think one of the other people ended up writing "Eye of the Tiger" later on, but the Teddy Bears, "To know him is to love him" was actually the words on the tombstone of Phil Spector's father. It's a beautiful song, and he did it well. He wasn't really known for being a singer, but look, he was finding himself. He obviously scored big with this and had an unbelievable career producing Ronettes and Righteous Brothers and Sonny and Cher. Not really, but they worked for him. Cher, Sonny helped him out with studio work, and Cher sang too. So I don't have to tell you about Phil Spector. He did finally die. And I did piss off his daughter by saying, "How's dad?" and all that. I found her and then she blocked me and she answered, go to hell or something like that. But that's okay. When you have a father that kills people, I guess you're a little skittish. Um, let's see if I another ad pops up. This stupid HP, every time they fix my printer, they install some obnoxious uh, s- stuff that's going to pop up sales of all their obnoxious products that I don't want to see. But if I figure if I delete it, it'll screw something up. So I just let it keep happening. Is there more? Annette Kleinbard. Change your name to Carol Connors. Okay. I'm pretty sure she wrote songs later on, but I'm not about to spend too much time on this group. Okay, Carol Connors. So she had a great career. She wrote or co-wrote "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia," Billy Preston and Sarita's "With You I'm Born Again," the Ripcords, "Hey Little Cobra." Wow. She wrote and she did "Gonna Fly Now." That was the Rocky song. So hey, you start off, you're a one-hit wonder, and then you change your name, contribute massively to music for many years, but people, the general public, has no clue that you were in the Teddy Bears because not many people look into these things. So this is my exciting look at the 1958 is done. When I get around to it, I will be happy to deal with 1959. Stick with me, people. I know it's choppy. It's not everything you hope for, but I'm doing my best. And I'm enjoying it when I do it. And I'll see you next time. Eddie G's Music World, November 17th, 2022. Good day.